Hello and good afternoon to those of you just arriving. I'm Russell Palmer, and I'll be working with you all this afternoon in our Galileo showcase. What's new with Galileo? As mentioned, we're about 7 minutes until the top, or the half of the hour at 3:30 when we'll get started. Until then, feel free to get comfortable. Find the chat button at the top. You're welcome to say hello in the chat if you like. We'll be using that chat for questions and comments as we go through. And I look forward to sharing a little bit about what we've been doing with Galileo with you very, very soon. Hello again, and good afternoon, everyone. We're at about 3 minutes until our scheduled start time at 3:30. Looking forward to sharing a little bit about Galileo and what we have doing and what's coming next in our Galileo showcase here at 3:30. In the meantime, before we get started in the next, 2 minutes now, you're welcome to pop on the chat if you like and say hello to me or to colleagues here. We are going to have a lot of fun in a short amount of time, and looking forward to working with you. Mike White, if you could do me a favor, since you are here and one of our illustrious Galileo staff, Mike White has joined us, would you please monitor the question and answer in the chat for me, please.
Hey, Russell, can you hear me now?
I sure can. Thanks so
Cool.
much. You're Mike, and then you were unmike, and now you're mic'd again. It's kind of fun. Oh,
Hello, everyone.
fabulous. I'm the father of an 11-year-old, and with 11-year-old fatherhood comes really bad dad jokes to embarrass your child. All right, let's get going. I believe we have already started the recording automatically. So, well, wait, no, stop sharing. Let's not stop recording. Let's go ahead and start recording here. Record and transcribe.
You are
Oh, not
recording.
good. Yeah, it is automatically started. Okay. Just my eyes are getting worse and worse all the time. So, welcome everyone. I'm Russell Palmer, and I am subbing in at the last minute for Joy Woodson, who was going to share with you the Galileo Showcase today. She has had some issues with being a little bit sick, so I am happy to be with you. Joining me also is Mike White, my colleague here at Galileo, and Mike, as you heard, agreed to do the Q&A for me. So you see that there's a Q&A at the top and a chat at the top. You're welcome to add your questions in either one of those as we go through. Roberta and Mike, if you could also let people in, just let in Roberta. Roberta, welcome. We're just getting started. So we are going to go ahead and launch right in. If you have, like I said, any questions at any point, you're welcome to use the chat or the Q&A that you'll see at the top of the screen. So I want to go ahead and launch in just in the interest of time. We've got 30 minutes and I got a lot of stuff I want to cover here today. So we're going to start with just some things that, Galileo has been doing a bunch of stuff over the last few years. Since about 2020, when we launched our first Galileo redesign, we've been at it. We've been developing new and different and important things. We've been adding new vendor products. And I just want to give you a quick overview of all the things that we've done, just in case you missed it. And those are things like our K-12 views, our bento search, our shareable links, our improved publication finder, our new EBSCO discovery search, which is available now for K-12, and we've been adding a lot more content. And I want to hit on each and every one of those things. In the second half of my presentation, we're going to take a look at some of the things that we're planning for the next round of Galileo development, during which time you're welcome to share any input or ideas that you have about that. But looking forward to sharing all the things that we've done. So let's go ahead and launch in. One of the things I know, I also like to talk about things that we're planning in the context of things that we've done too. One of the things that we've done for K-12 is we've added an elementary, middle, and high school view along with an educator view. Now, one of the things that we know we want to do that I'll talk a little bit about in the second half of our 30 minutes together is we really want to boost up those elementary and middle school views, especially so that they are going to be a lot more attractive. And I had some mock-ups that we did some time ago of some things that we thought would make the sites and the bento search look a lot more interesting, be a lot more engaging for kids, and we hope to get a lot more feedback on that. We just recently did a strategic planning event where a staff member from DOE suggested, well, hey, what better input to get than kid input? And we liked that idea a lot about how, what better way to think about engaging kids than to involve them in the actual process. So we're looking at some unique ways where we might be able to do that. But in any case, the views are available. You can toggle back and forth between the views. You can search between the views so that, if you're an elementary, middle, or high school student, you can get leveled and appropriate resources for that particular age group. And just to show it in action here in Galileo, just so that we see, I'm going to log in. My daughter is in Oconee County School, so that's what I'm going to use, what I use when I work with research projects with her. So you see when I log in, I'm actually presented with a choice of view. I'm going to go ahead and choose middle. She's a middle schooler, just for fun. And you see the bento search, the classic search are both geared toward finding that middle school level content. The resources in the spotlight are appropriately leveled to that age group. The databases, the all journals list are all lists that come from things in that particular view. If I were to do a search in the bento, so I want to search for volcanoes. This was a search my daughter was working on actually recently, well, some time ago now, but I like to use it. So I've searched for volcanoes and I've searched in the middle school view. Hey, I want something that's a little more easy to read. If I want to scale back to the elementary school view, it'll redo my search in the elementary view quickly and easily just by changing the view in the toggle up at the top left here. So again, those views are designed to provide age group appropriate content, age group appropriate searching, and age group appropriate resource lists for elementary, middle, and high school. And then the educator view, it's basically everything in Galileo, everything that you have access to. So if I'm in the educator view, I've got educator resources here on the main page, things like the EBSCO eBooks academic collection. We also thought this might be really helpful for our teachers who are doing, our student teachers who may be wanting to do some research while they're on the job at school. Professional development collection is just that, it's for educators. Our ebook central collection has very good ebook collections. So lots of good content there for specifically the educator, plus access to everything so that you can take on that educator view, look at everything at a higher level and identify appropriate resources as needed. So that's just a quick look at our views. What am I doing here? Got ahead of myself. The next thing we're talking about is bento search filters and persistent linking. This is something else that's fun that we've done here in the Galileo environment. I have here, I looked at my views, but I also have in the bento now, and I'll actually do all of my stuff out live in Galileo. I have my points of view. Points of view is a points of view reference center is a database that we added. A lot of people had complained for years and years that we had lost the SIRS issues researcher. Points of view reference center is actually a good replacement for it, and we put a bento search for it in our bento search for K-12. So this is from the points of view reference center. I just want to point out that two of the things that we've added are filters within the bento boxes and permalinks. And let me show you what you get with all of that. The permalinks actually can go out to the exact search. So if you find a great search and you want to share it with your student from the bento, you can send it to them. Or if you just want to maybe put a general search for the point of view reference center bento on your website, you can capture that and do that. Let me show you exactly what I mean. By going into Galileo, running a search in the bento, I will do my silly volcano search again. So I found great things. I want to send all the encyclopedia articles I get when I do a volcano search to a student or post them online so that they can pick a volcano or see volcanoes. I go to this permalink button here at the top right, permalink. So permanent links for this exact search. So if I want to send them the search with the search results in line with it, just like it is, I click copy. If I just want to send them the encyclopedia bento, I can click copy and then it automatically copies it to my clipboard and I have it available to put into an email or put into my LMS or wherever I want to send it. I just want to show you the example. When I copy the permalink for the encyclopedia bento, what happens is if I post this on a website or post it in an email, it'll take my student to specifically the encyclopedia search. So if they're at home, it'll just prompt them for the password before they access this, but it's there and available for them. So you can give them a really condensed way to search for specific content. You could do the same thing. My example was volcanoes, but if I wanted to give them the ebook search, oh, here's lots of great ebooks on volcanoes, thousands of them, probably 28,000 of them. If I want to send them that list of search results, or if I wanted to limit it down even more, if I wanted to, well, I want to send them this, but I only want to send them articles that fit the subject. to, well, there's some lots of boring ones there. Children, volcanoes and children. I can do that. I've limited my text down to 87 books now to capture that permalink, and I can send them. The permalink, the first permalink here captures that exact search and includes any limiters in it as well. So I'll get that same list when I open it up in another page of 87 items with my limiters already applied. So I think that's a really nice thing we've done. It makes it really easy to share search results from within the Bento with those Bento permalinks. So that's Bento permalinks. We also have added what we call shareable links. And I think that this can be really helpful to K-12 librarians. I think one of the things that we're always trying to share is, hey, where do I get a list of all of the items that I have access to? Oh, and I just want a list of just the middle school databases. So I'll go to middle school view here while I'm in Galileo, and I'll scroll down the page, find what's below the fold here, and I have tools, and I have my shareable links. So the shareable links are designed to be, I want to have my Galileo homepage. If you want to be able to post on your elementary school's website, just the elementary school view, you can do that. So that's what's there. But I can also, if I wanted to grab my middle school A to Z list, a list of all of the databases that are available for middle schoolers, I can get that shareable link, go ahead and copy that. And then my student will have access to a list of the 75 databases that are available for middle schoolers in that middle school view. So just wanted to show that as, again, I think it's something that we don't often think about, but if you need an A to Z list of your databases and a quick link out to that, you can do that very quickly using the shareable links. And you can also take that outside of Galileo. It only requires, if I'm in this list, it only requires authentication once the student actually clicks on a database. So if they're at home and they're working from this list of 75 databases, they can look and browse to find what they need. But they're not going to be prompted to log in until they actually click on a database, find what they need. And then they'll be prompted for the Galileo password. At school, they won't be prompted at all. So another thing that we've added is a new publication finder. So I think this is a commonly misunderstood and hidden tool in the Galileo environment. Let me go back to the Galileo main page just to show you how you can quickly and easily find the publication finder. Up in the top right of the screen, I have my all databases, which is my all databases A to Z list. I have my all journals, and this is what I'm talking about here. This is our publication finder. I'm actually in the process of thinking about a name change for this because all journals is a little bit confusing. It means something to somebody working at a university, but not necessarily something to you. I'm a teacher and I am looking for books about reading. Do I have reading journals? Do I have things that can help me plan for teaching reading to students? Well, actually I do. I have a journal, Reading Teacher, and I can search for that, find that publication, and then I can see where it might be available in full text via Galileo. And it's a little bit larger, it's kind of tiny. So I can see that there are multiple databases where I can get the Reading Teacher in full text, although I do note that there is a full text delay of 1 year. So I'll get last year's full text, which is unfortunate in some cases, but it's often better to have some access than no access at all. So that is the publication finder. Just another little known fact about this publication finder is not only does it contain all of the periodical publications in Galileo, it also contains all the ebooks. So if you're just looking, you want to see if there's an ebook on a specific title, you can use this like a little library catalog for that. And you can actually limit to books only here as well. So if I want to search books only and search for reading again, let's do broader search for reading. I can find all the books related to reading here in the publication finder. So it's pretty nice that you should limit to just the ebooks as well. So that's the publication finder, and we upgraded that substantially this year with a new publication finder version. Next thing I want to show you that we've added this year is you now have access to, as a K-12 teacher, student, media specialist, the new EBSCO Discovery Service. And when I say EBSCO Discovery Service, you're probably like, huh, what is that? I don't even know what that is. EBSCO Discovery Service is the search tool that drives the classic search. We're actually working on renaming it since we just added a new version of this. We probably need to upgrade this name as well. So we're thinking about that. I will say that the EBSCO Discovery Service, the index that drives that is the same index that drives the Bento search. So there's no difference in what you're searching through when you use either one of these searches. But the classic search, again, is that new EBSCO discovery service that we've upgraded this year. It's got some cool new features. I'm going to go ahead and just point some of them out here. One of the things that they've added here is the ability to engage the filters in one place instead of having all this wasted space down the screen with a bunch of filters. If you want to engage the filters, you can. You just click on the All Filters button at the top. You can automatically and quickly limit to peer reviewed. You can limit to source type. There's lots of limiters you can apply right at the top. And then if I'm looking to share, the three buttons right there, the three dots, lets me quickly share or bookmark these articles as I go through my results list. Used to be you had to like click on the item and actually get in there to make that happen, but now it's much, much easier and cleaner and easier to use. I'll go through and do all these features live. Another thing that's been added to the EBSCO Discovery Service is a visual search. And you're able to search topics visually and get search results. And I'll show you what that looks like live in just a moment as well. So I'm here I'm in the classic search. I'm doing acting and Shakespeare as my search earlier today when I was prepping for this. No idea why I did that. Never know what drives my sample searching. But as you can see, I get search results. As I mentioned, this button here lets me cite this article, add it to a project or a folder. I can share it. I can get a persistent link to this item. I can email it. I can do download this item, download the full text, all in one little space. The filters I can engage right here at the top of the screen. I'm going to limit to source type. I'm going to limit it to magazines. I just want magazines. I'll go ahead and apply the filter there. Just limit it to magazines. And then I'll show you one of my favorite new things that they've added for you in the new EBSCO Discovery Service. I'm going to go ahead and access this PDF. Many of you reached out to me over the years and said, I would love it if there was text-to-speech functionality in more of the articles, especially the PDFs. There is now. Anytime you see this little icon at the top of your screen, the little headphone icon that says listen, you now have text-to-speech for that article. So they've added text-to-speech for a lot more content now that we're using the new EBSCO Discovery Service. That's only EBSCO content. You may see text-to-speech for other content. Britannica has it really nicely and several other vendors do, but definitely the EBSCO content has upped their game by adding it to the PDFs. So I pointed that out with the upgrade. There's that's still there. Sadly, there's not that read along is not yet available for EBSCO ebooks. Then another new feature that's coming along soon, we plan to add an identifier in the bento we'll use that same headphone icon. That's part of our new development that we'll be doing in the next year or so. Hopefully with some releases coming in December, we'll have an identifier for all articles that have that read along functionality. And we'll put that into the bento search so that you can access that functionality a lot more easily. There's a couple of more things I promised to look at with you. I'm going to go back to my search results here. I'm going to go to concept map. Just to show, I'll look fast on that, but the concept map search is right here on the left-hand side of the search results. And it opens in a new tab for me. So I had acting and Shakespeare. So it's going to make me pick a specific topic. But once I click on acting, I can add that terminology to my search, and then I can browse around and I can explore other concepts. So if I want to do role playing, I can go ahead and explore that concept. And I'll add that to my search as well. It will automatically put that Boolean and in there and put it in there for me. And then I can actually do a search against that and see all the related results. So it lets me do some take a visual look at my topic and narrow and refine my search based on the visuals that I see in the concept map. I can look at that as a map. Ooh, that's tiny. Or I can look at it as a grid, which makes it a little bit more manageable. So that is, again, the concept map search. Sorry, I'm moving fast, y'all. There's lots going on today. Another thing that's added with this new EBSCO Discovery Service is Act Out, the art of performing Shakespeare can allow deeper immersion into scripture and sacred tradition. If I wanted to see more articles like this one, it's just going to pull articles that have similar subject headings, similar metadata. If I click on this new More Like This button, it will give me related articles. So if a student, well, this doesn't always, but if I find an article that has related articles, it will, and this is only going to get better. I'm 0 for 2. Come on, there we go. So as they like it, Learning to Follow My Child's Lead has some, it has 3 recommended articles that are tied to it. Again, this service is going to get better. It's going to add AI functionality in the coming months. And it's going to be really a very good tool to help students with research. That's the recommender service. Again, just a reminder that we've added new content since July of 2022. There's the Points of View Reference Center that I mentioned earlier. This is new content that's designed to be available for students when they're doing a comparison contrast essay or that type of research or work. It's loaded with tons of newspaper, magazine, and scholarly articles on the topic. And it also has just really good general scholarship and pro and con articles that are called out on specific topics that's very browsable by topic. Science Reference Center just does sort of the same thing with science. Lots of science project information there as well. Ethnic diversity source. We've added Learning Express and Prep Steps. So for those of you who maybe work with high schoolers, middle schoolers who are going ahead and thinking about the college experience or thinking about getting that PSAT pre-test or practice test, that's the kind of content that you'll find in Learning Express and Prep Step. And we've added more magazine content. We upgraded 2 subscriptions, one to a database called Masterfile, another to a database called MAS. And we've added a lot more magazine content by expanding those 2 collections. So just some up-to-the-minute updates on content. We've recently received information from EBSCO that they're going to work toward repairing 2 long-standing issues that I've talked about with school librarians for a long time. And one of these is the EBSCO eBooks K-8 collection. We've all agreed for a long time that K-8 is a huge range of content to sort through when you're trying to teach elementary schoolers and extract what's right for them, or teach middle schoolers and extract what's right from them from this massive collection of content. So ultimately, that collection will be divided into a K-5 and a 6-8 collection, and the tentative date for that is mid-year next year. We're very much looking forward to that. We're being patient. It does take time to pull that content apart. Another thing that they're going to do is add Lexile limiter searching for EBSCO ebooks, probably just for that K-8 collection, at least at first. And the tentative date on that is April 2024. We're seeing a lot more ebooks in that collection with Lexile limiter information, but hopefully we'll see more searchability of that coming very, very soon. That was a recent update that I just got right after the Georgia Libraries Conference. I had done some communicating with EBSCO about this, and they followed up with me. By communicating, I mean yelling. So what's next? What are some of the things that we're working on now with Galileo? And I see, Roberta, you're typing a question. Please continue to type away. And as soon as that comes through, I'll be glad to answer it for you. So authentication. Again, some of you have been grappling, I know, with issues with sharing articles with your students and other things. And I know that's hard and it takes another step right now. We are working with the Georgia Department of Education as rapidly as we can toward implementing our single sign-on service, Open Athens, for K-12. Way back in July, we had a reset meeting with the team at DOE. We're meeting with DOE again this Thursday. I just sent out the agenda for that meeting today. We're making good progress. We're working through options. We needed to show the DOE what we needed in terms of descriptions of users to make things work. That's what we mean by personas. We'll be meeting with EBSCO and Open Athens and DOE this week. So we're slowly stepping toward a productive outcome with single sign-on. We're tentatively hoping to pilot a library in spring, a school system in spring 2024. And very tentatively hoping to go live with this in summer of 2024. We have a lot of work to do, but we think we can do it very quickly. But we'll be keeping everyone posted on the shifting timelines with authentication and moving toward that single sign-on solution with Open Athens. Make things a lot easier for you and your students. So we are thinking about adding customizable banners. We've already done this internally. We're thinking about ways that we can share this with a wider audience so that you could set up your own customizable banners using Galileo administration. Bento personalization. This is an example. I can actually show you bento personalization as it exists right now in our Galileo staging site. It's pretty cool. Go ahead and log in here. And I'm going to go ahead and just I'll do as a high school view. So I'm in Bento. This is my Galileo staging site. I'm going to go ahead. Nursing and hand washing. It's for a fun topic. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and searched for nursing and hand washing. What we will be adding to the bento is a very, very tiny subtle change. And right here is where you'll see a little gear. Click on that gear. I can take bentos out. I don't need this journal's bento. I don't need this database's bento. I'm keen to have the scholarly articles. I don't want the encyclopedias. I want the ebooks. I don't want the news. So what you're seeing here is I can go ahead and customize my bento results so that I am not having to see what I need, what I don't want or don't need. I can go ahead and click on done. But I also can add bentos if there's a bento that's not added that I want to add, like the Civil Rights Digital Library. I can go ahead and add that one too there. Once I'm done, I click done, and it holds and saves that set of customizations in my browser until I change them. So that's going to be coming probably in December as a change that we're doing. Really excited to bring the customizations there that users will be able to kind of control and customize that bento search themselves. We also have this is just another longer list of the bentos that can be added among those that are not added by default. And then I mentioned improving our K-12 views. This was a mock-up we did some time ago, just an initial mock-up of what an elementary school side view might look like with bigger icons, more visuals. This was a very early pass at this. We have a lot more work to do, a lot more ideas to integrate, and a lot more ideas to get. If you have great ideas about what we should be doing with our elementary and middle school views, we're glad and happy to hear them. But just early days of that. We're also thinking about ways to improve the K-12 bento search, to simplify it a little bit. And this is my concept, actually, that Jason Steele, our former graphic designer, kind of translated into a mock-up. We wanted students to kind of follow that research workflow, some resources that are about getting started with encyclopedias, and then digging deeper might have some ebooks, and then up-to-date details would have magazines or scholarly articles. So kind of dividing it out to fit the research process that students go through and need to learn about. And we have done so much more. We're about 4 minutes left, and I want to leave a little bit of time for questions. I'm only really truly scratching the surface here of the work that we've done. If you're interested in more in-depth training and more lengthy training, I'm more than happy to come on site. I do face-to-face training. I prefer to do that for 20 to 30 people if I can, if it's possible. But I'm also happy to do short webinars. I've even done webinars with just a few teachers or a few media specialists just to kind of get things going in the right direction or to give updates on new resources. I'm always happy to do that type of thing too. But my email address is here. And again, I welcome you all to reach out if you would like to work with me to schedule some training, again, either on site or via webinar. And I want to thank you for attending today. And I do want to, before we wrap up, just a couple of reminders that we've worked very hard with K-12 over the last few years, and that we're giving the Galileo Ambassador Award. That will start up again in March. But be aware, if you have media specialist colleagues or you yourself are out there advocating for Galileo on a daily basis, we do give this award yearly. And those nominations will begin in March. Just a quick recap on just general Galileo resources, not the database themselves, but our YouTube channel is very strong and you can find a lot of good Galileo tutorials there. We have our Galileo training page, which has both our training and recorded training. Our marketing toolkit, if you need help getting started with reaching out on Galileo things, or if you want to print, some of you have been at conferences with us where you've seen our handouts, our fact sheets, or you've seen our posters or our bookmarks. Those are all available to access and print from the Galileo Marketing Toolkit. our reporting and statistics, our newsletter. You can subscribe to our newsletter, our listserv if you don't already. We send a lot of valuable, particularly valuable technical information out via the Galileo listserv. And Joy, my colleague Joy Woodson, our marketing person, did our Galileo Back to School Guide for K-12 this year. And there's a lot of really good information there about the changes that we made prior to this year and other things that may be of interest to you. And I promise that's everything. That's a lot in a very short period of time, I realize. But I want to leave, as I said, we have a couple of minutes for questions. So if you have a burning question that you want to add to the Q&A or the chat, please feel free to do so. I can also hang out for a couple of extra minutes if we need to answer something. But I'm here and happy to answer any questions you have. And again, thank you all so much. All right. Well, I know that Joy will be coordinating the recording, and I welcome you all to share this far and wide with your colleagues. Thank you for your attention and attendance today. I appreciate you dropping in. Thanks all. Bye-bye.